Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something really specific. It's aimed squarely at you, especially if you appreciate, efficiency and structure when you're learning something new. We're diving into some source material that teaches basic English introductions.
Exactly. And our goal here isn't just to learn the phrases themselves. I mean, you could just read the guide for that, right? We want to dissect the strategy, the teaching approach. This guide, it's called English Greetings and Self-Introduction Basics, and we're sort of treating it like a blueprint.
A blueprint, yeah. Like, how do you take this messy, unpredictable thing, meeting someone new, and turn it into a smooth, repeatable process?
Right. A blueprint for minimizing that cognitive load, especially during that crucial first contact.
So we're going to look closely at the example dialogue they use. We'll also break down their choice of 8 useful phrases, what makes these 8 so special. And I think most interestingly, we'll unpack this very strict 4-sentence framework they recommend for introducing yourself.
Yeah, we really want to understand why this particular sequence feels like it's built for, speed and immediate use. It's practical knowledge.
Okay, so let's start where the guide starts, with the demonstration. It introduces us to Rahul and Priya. They're meeting for the first time, and the whole interaction is designed to be quick, like under 2 minutes. But it covers all the bases. This scene, this model, is really the core idea the learner needs to grasp.
And what jumps out immediately is the focus on reciprocity. That's so important for lowering anxiety when you're speaking a new language. It doesn't just give you phrases in isolation. It models a complete, balanced back and forth.
Balanced, yeah. So you learn how to ask.
And how to receive the answer, and then immediately return the question or the comment. It stops the conversation from just dying out after one person speaks.
Okay, let's walk through that flow. It kicks off with the greeting, right? Hi, good morning.
And the response, good morning, how are you? And notice, how are you isn't just, asking about their health. It's a required social signal.
Right, it's part of the dance.
Exactly. And the response they teach, I'm fine, thank you. And you? It forces that reciprocity straight away. Priya replies, I'm good too, thanks. And boom, that initial social loop is closed.
It immediately sets it up as a two-way street, not an interview.
Which is just, genius from a teaching perspective. That demand for reciprocity right at the start, it stops the learner from just freezing after asking their first question.
Okay, so after the check-in, they move to identity. What's your name?
And again, look how the guide structures the answer. It's immediately paired with turning the question back. My name is Rahul, what's yours?
Yeah. That's often missed, isn't it? Just teaching the statement, but not the return.
It really is. It neglects that social need to keep the interaction going. Priya then answers simply, I'm Priya.
Then comes the social pleasantry. Nice to meet you.
Followed immediately by the echo, nice to meet you too. It's like a perfect linguistic mirror.
Establishing common ground before getting into details.
Exactly. That mirroring builds a little bit of trust. Then they pivot to location, which is a big identity marker. Where are you from?
Answered by, I'm from Delhi, and you. See, there's that reciprocity again.
And the return, I'm from Mumbai.
And then they wrap it up with a positive touch. Rahul says, Mumbai is a beautiful city.
And Priya validates that, yes, and then returns her own positive comment. Delhi is also nice. The whole thing is just perfectly symmetrical.
So the analysis there is pretty clear then.
I think so. The scene basically demonstrates, follow this script, and your guarantees a balanced conversation. You give information, you get information back. That takes a huge amount of pressure off the learner. They don't have to invent stuff on the spot in that high-stress first meeting.
That symmetry point is key. Okay, so moving on from the full script example, the material then shifts into what it calls the teaching phase. It takes that flowing conversation and sort of atomizes it, pulls out 8 specific phrases. This is where they break down the mechanics.
Right. They isolate the function of each phrase. This lets the learner drill the mechanics separate from the flow. But it's worth asking, why these specific 8 phrases?
Yeah, if you or I were designing it, maybe we'd pick 10 or 15. Why just 8?
It seems like a very deliberate choice to prioritize only the absolute core necessities. Let's look at the first few. Hi, good morning, function, use this in the morning. That's an interesting constraint itself, isn't it? Why not just hello?
Good point. It seems like they want to immediately tie the language to context, time context in this case, forces the learner to think about when to use it right away.
I think so too. And then the check-in phrases, how are you? And the reply, I'm fine, thank you. They're teaching a very specific, polite routine. It prioritizes that formality.
So sacrificing variety for predictability.
Exactly. Predictability and structural integrity. Keep it simple, keep it reliable.
Then you get the identity questions and answers. Name and location. 4 phrases covering that.
And what's crucial there is the simplicity of the grammar. What's your name? Where are you from? Simple what and where questions. No complex sentence structures, just direct present tense identification. That's a big psychological win for a beginner. Makes it feel achievable.
Definitely. And the last one, number 8, is that social closing. Nice to meet you. Function. Use when meeting first time. It seals the deal, basically.
It does. And speaking of sealing the deal, here's a really interesting little nugget in the guide. They actually include an optional Hindi translation for nice to meet you.
Oh, really? What do they give?
Aapse milkar khushi hui.
Which means, literally, I was happy to meet you, or having met you, happiness occurred. Something like that.
Exactly. And that's not just a translation. It's providing the emotional context. It tells the learner this isn't just some robotic phrase you have to say. It's meant to convey genuine pleasure from the interaction.
That's actually quite profound. It connects the function back to the feeling.
Yes. It helps bridge that gap between just memorizing words and actually participating socially in a meaningful way. That's often the hardest jump, isn't it? Going from textbook to real connection.
Absolutely. Okay, so they've shown the model, they've broken down the parts, and the material jumps straight into practice time. Very direct. No messing around.
And this is where I think the guide really shows its understanding of how people learn, especially under pressure. It doesn't just explain, it constrains. The practice task isn't vague at all.
Right. It's not, okay, now introduce yourself. It's incredibly specific. Introduce yourself in exactly 4 sentences. No more, no less. Those boundaries are the real teaching tool here.
They are. And they're brilliant boundaries because they map perfectly onto the, let's say, 4 key areas of identity you need in a first meeting, professionally or socially.
Let's list them out. The 4 required things are 1, your name, 2, your city, 3, what you do your job or role, like student, and 4, one thing you like, a personal interest.
Now, just think about the efficiency there. Name, place, role, interest. And analyze the grammar needed. Every single one can be delivered with I am or I like.
Yeah. Simple present tense. I am Neha. I am from Lucknow. I am a student. I like music.
Exactly. That's the example they give with Neha. No need for past tense, future tense, no complicated clauses, nothing. It's designed for maximum information delivery with minimum grammatical complexity.
It's like the most compressed, efficient little packet of identity information you could create.
Pretty much. That template, name, city, role, interest. It covers the essentials anyone meeting you for the first time might want to know. It's super informative, grammatically simple, and totally repeatable. It basically guarantees the learner can succeed in that first real-world attempt. Gives them confidence.
Okay, so pulling back, looking at the whole strategy, well, what's the big picture here? It's more than just teaching 3 basic skills, right? Saying hello, introducing yourself, Q&A.
Oh, definitely. I think the fundamental strategy is the systematic reduction of choice. The guide works because it cuts out ambiguity. It dictates the structure. It forces that back and forth, the reciprocity we talked about.
So it succeeds by limiting options, not expanding them.
At this initial stage, yes. It focuses laser-like on achieving those 3 concrete goals. Hello, identity, simple questions, and it refuses to bring in any extra words or grammar that don't directly serve those immediate goals.
That's like pure transactional efficiency. Get in, exchange data, get out smoothly.
You could put it that way.
Yeah.
And they lock it in immediately with the homework assignment. Write out your own 4-sentence introduction using that exact structure. Apply it now.
Right, immediate reinforcement using that constrained framework.
But this leads to an interesting final thought, doesn't it? The source material ends by previewing the next lesson topic, talking about your daily routine.
Okay, so from basic introductions to daily routines.
Yeah. And think about that leap. The introduction part, it's all surface level, right? Name, city, job, like transactional, as you said.
But daily routine, that's different. That requires talking about actions, sequences, times of day.
Exactly. It's a jump into a much more complex linguistic space. You need verbs, time markers, maybe sequences like first, then, after that. It's moving from just establishing who you are to establishing how you exist in time and space.
And it implies a shift in social closeness too, doesn't it? You don't usually ask a total stranger about their detailed daily routine in the first 2 minutes.
Good point. You ask that of someone you expect to interact with more, someone you're building a bit more connection with. So the provocative thought might be, what's the cognitive cost of making that leap? How does a learner manage that sudden explosion of vocabulary and grammar needed when the conversation shifts from simple ID to, well, narrative?
That jump from the static who I am to the dynamic what I do all day, that feels like the next big hurdle. Definitely something for you, the learner, to think about as you master these first steps and look towards building longer, more sustained interactions.